Demon fish? What? Okay, never mind. Clappies, clappies, clappies. Hey, it's a miracle. Caught a stream. Welcome, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, big clappies. Alright, boys, it turns out the world is collapsing and the elite want to screw us over. Viva la revolution or something, I don't know.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be looking at some pretty interesting stuff coming out.
Oh yeah, so we just watched a video about Shu, who was talking about the reactions online of the Charlie Kirk assassination, but a whole lot of people's championing, celebrating his death, and being a whole bunch of psychopaths. So apparently Rev here has apparently discovered some interesting facts about this case, so we'll get into this now.
Out of a sort of collaboration between various people like Asmongold, Legal Mindset, and...
Oh yeah, apparently, speaking about this, I'm reminded that apparently it's been announced that Asmongold's father has passed away, unfortunately. I'm not sure, but I believe this is from the recent case of cancer that he's had. So yeah, just a silent F in chat for poor Asmongold's dad. We'll definitely be praying for Asmongold as he goes through this difficult time. Yeah. F's in the chat.
Other content creators, I'm sure, an effective measure to deal with some of the violent rhetoric that has plagued social media. Now, of course, this is in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination, and I know you guys are probably seeing a lot of heavy topics from me on this channel recently, but I think what we're talking about here is really important, and it also affects areas we care about, like content creators, as well as the gaming industry, which...
Well, I'm a gamer and I'm a content creator. Small one at that, but you know, I'm there, so this definitely impacts me.
We'll see
Thanks
once
for the
again
man.
Today. So, as I'm sure you're aware, after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there was a massive amount of posts celebrating his death, but even going further and making additional calls for political violence and making direct...
I actually saw this, even Shu on Head mentioned this, where people were calling for extended violence. Not just to Charlie Kirk's family, you know, his wife and kids, but to other people who shared similar or more extreme views.
Threats in some cases. And today we're starting to really see the finding out stage, where apparently, yeah, you can't make violent threats on social media and not suffer, whether it's at your job or legally. And a lot...
Based. Rail them hard.
A lot of people are finding out over the past...
I hope legally and socially they get their cheeks absolutely destroyed by this. Completely clapped.
Past day or two. Now, we've seen a lot of posts, but this is just one I saw today. Like, this is just a rant. This is...
Wait, hold up. I just realized something. I'm actually in front of Rip. Hold up. There we go. That's better.
One of thousands. Okay, just to give you a taste. Just so you're very clear, this is not like, oh, they're saying some mean things about Charlie. No. This is what they're saying.
I watched like a...
Oh yeah, we saw this crazy person with Shu.
60-second, 60-minute, whatever.
Seems like a different video though.
1 minute edit of like the things he said, and they're like so atrocious that like his wife deserves to go too. Y'all keep on talking about his wife and kids. They need to go too because they're carrying on that mentality and that...
Never mind, it's the same video,
like,
just longer.
Get rid of the whole family. I'm so sorry. Why did you guys stop with him?
Well, I hope your boss gets rid of you.
Why did you stop with him? Go get his grandma. Because who raised you? Like, your mom ought to be ashamed for breathing scum like you.
What an absolutely disgusting person. They should arrest this person, toss him in jail for at least 10 years for saying this.
Get rid of the whole family. Like, y'all too scary. Y'all too scary for revolution. Y'all too scary for progress. Like, y'all want results without putting in the work. You gonna have to take out trash to get a clean house.
An absolute ghoul. Literally calling for more rounds of violence and wanting to essentially wipe out his entire bloodline, including his 2 young children,
disgusting,
who I believe are between around 1 and 5 years old. These are the...
If you want 5-year-olds and 1-year-olds to be killed, I'm sorry. You need to be locked up permanently.
People making these threats. They are completely unhinged, doing it with their face showing for the world. They are proud of what they're saying because they don't believe they're going to face any consequences, and that's been nailed into their head for years because stuff like this is never punished. And this is the account of the person we just saw. It appears they
Start making examples of them.
deleted
Not just one, not just two. Do it to all of them.
their video. Now they're trying to hide,
I want a mass purge of all these psychopaths.
but I have a good feeling they're going to be joining the unemployment line with
Put the fries in the... Oh wait, no, they can't even put the fries in the bag because now they're being fired. Put the tears on the tissue paper.
several other hundred of their fellow Americans, because their actual trackers right now reporting nearly 1,000 people have
Not enough. There's definitely more than 1,000 people that have been doing this. But I'll take 1,000 over nothing.
lost their
It's about
jobs
time.
from either celebrating the assassination or even making threats or additional calls to violence. And yeah, this is the finding out stage. You can't make violent threats against people and think you're going to just get away with it. And this has actually been pretty
Hot take, boys. The threat of an illegal action should be met with the punishment of actually doing that illegal action. Hot take, hot take.
easy. We're going to show you some other tools from Legal Mindset later in this video.
Hey,
It'll make
Legal
things
Mindset
even
pod.
easier to report some of this stuff. But this isn't like the stereotype of the guy with like extreme views from a decade or two ago where they're anonymous and on a random message board talking to like 3 people. No. The people doing this with Charlie Kirk, they're on Reddit. They're on
They were always on Reddit, to be fair, but now it's kind of like, you know, if you got an infestation and you hit a certain a certain wooden wall and they'll just come out into the daylight and they're everywhere. Yeah, I hope they get fair trials. They deserve that. Yes, absolutely. I think that everybody should get fair trials. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we should wrongfully punish them, you know, and punish them without trial. But I do think that they should be tried and punished for calling for the death of what's essentially little children.
TikTok. They're on Twitch.
Never mind all the other things that they've been saying.
They're on Twitter. They are on mainstream platforms saying this stuff openly and getting praise and support for it. And the reason this is so
And anyone who supports this, they should be tried as accomplices.
easy is because a lot of these lunatics, they're posting on accounts that have their face and even their government name. So of course, people
The retards just make it easy.
are going to find out where they work or what they do and contact their
Do you know what I would do? Say if I was the manager at McDonald's and I found out one of my employees, I put my fry in the bag right-hand man, was posting stuff like this, I would walk in on him while he's working with a boombox over my shoulder playing Dark Souls boss music, and I would hand him a paper telling him that he's fired. Hot take, boys.
their employers or contact law enforcement.
He will never forget the day.
And even we have examples of people posting from their work
They've gotten too used to nobody calling them out their behavior. Exactly. And this is not just a thing where we should be calling them out on this behavior. Yes, that has been missing for years now, where nobody has offered them any sort of rebuke. But we should be going beyond and actually legally punishing and railing over these people.
related accounts. They're making threats.
It's one thing to say, hey, you naughty, naughty, go sit in the timeout corner for calling for the death of little children. No, you should be legally railing them into oblivion.
In their work capacity, and they're shocked that it has consequences. That's how bad things have gotten. I've heard a bunch of disingenuous excuses for all of this. People are like,
Not losing any
now
sleep. They don't lose any sleep over an innocent man and his family getting killed. Therefore, I think it's safe to say we shouldn't be losing any sleep over some random Karen working at Walmart getting fired for being an absolutely degenerate, disgusting person.
love cancel culture. First of all, those people saying that, they would have gladly celebrated a couple years ago where people were getting their jobs taken away, deplatformed, having their lives ruined for saying something like there's 2 genders. And now you have people who embrace that system now crying when it's used against them when they're making calls to violence.
Boo-hoo.
I mean, this is the system
As the South Africans will know, tough techie.
you created. And another thing I'm seeing is people talking about the First Amendment. They're like, what happened to the First Amendment? I thought this was America. Well, it doesn't protect violent threats, and it never did. And a good example of people misunderstanding
Choloza, sucks to be you, boy.
This comes from the Clemson University situation, where they made this statement and said they're going to take appropriate action for speech that constitutes a genuine threat, which is not protected by the Constitution of the United States. And whether they follow through on this or not,
I so hope they do. If anyone makes threats of violence, you should rail them over.
have to wait and see. But I've seen at least
You should clap their cheeks so hard that if it goes any faster, it'll start vibrating fast enough for them to be carried off and just take off flying into the sunset.
3 professors from this university either celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination or make further calls for political violence. These are the people
You should take away the degrees and fire them, put them in jail.
teaching the youth. That should alarm you greatly. Now, of course, we have Tim Sweeney here, another person
Who the heck's Tim Sweeney?
from the industry. In fact, they are the CEO and founder of Epic Games. So a pretty big deal. He says this in response to that previous post. What amendment says you can't diss someone? Not seeing it here with a screenshot of the First Amendment. First of all, he is greatly misunderstanding what we're talking about here. We're not talking about people saying, "Oh, Charlie Kirk, he was a big meanie." No, they're celebrating his assassination and going further and making additional calls for political violence. Okay, that is not protected free speech under the First Amendment. It never has been.
True.
It never will be. You can't threaten people. This should be very obvious, but people who have always hated the First Amendment are now pretending to care about the First Amendment.
Oh yeah, it's complete. It's a We should actually have chat show up over VTube Studio. There we go. That should work. Sorry guys, I died, but I lived. Give me a sec. I'll boot up everything now. Let's see. Brave audio. Brave. There we go. We're back. Also, what? Who's this bot? Bro, ban yourself now. It's fine, I'll do it. Ban. Banish into the Shadow Realm. See you later. Okay, we're back. Let's keep going. Where was I? I think it was like around here? Reanimated zombie fox suit, yes.
A screenshot of the First Amendment. First of all, he is greatly misunderstood.
Okay, it goes a little bit further.
Very obvious, but people who have always hated the First Amendment are now pretending to care about the First Amendment because it protects lunatics making these violent threats. And it's very transparent. And
sorry guys,
my
my internet
Tim
died.
Sweeney does not understand the gravity of the situation or the First Amendment because he's messing up everything here, and it's just a really terrible look. Now, this is related to a lot of things that are going on in the gaming industry that involve one way or another this current situation. And Asmongold has made it his little mission here to make a series of videos talking about people from various industries, including the gaming industry, and wants to hold them accountable and shine a light on them and give people some recommendations of what to do if you see this.
One of these companies and you have a person like this doing it, make sure to...
Hold up.
Talk to HR and let them know how uncomfortable you feel that there's a person who's working at your company who might want to advocate to have you killed because you disagree with them. Tell them that it makes you afraid to come into work. Tell them that, you don't know, maybe you're going to file a lawsuit. You feel unsafe at your workplace. And honestly, here's the important thing. You should feel unsafe, because these people would justify violence against anybody who disagrees with them. And just because you think you know them doesn't mean they wouldn't do the exact same thing to you. And
he's 100% right, by the way. Like, even Shu touched on this. These people are basically advocating for people who share your views and morality to get killed. So yeah, 100% I agree with him. Go to your boss, your HR manager, whatever it is. Tell them exactly this.
And this is them. This is the game that they're making right here. And you can see that they've made no statement about this. Now, let me ask you a very simple question. If these people made a degrading comment towards the trans community, for example, or towards the black community, for example, do you think Sucker Punch would have immediately fired them and made a statement? I
Probably. Even if they didn't make a statement, they'd probably still be fired.
think so, absolutely. But for some reason, these people are protected. And the reason why they're protected is because there's a lot of other ones at the company that feel the exact same way that they do. That's the only logical reason that I have. And I think that at a certain point, Sony
I think his reasoning's pretty sound. This is very likely.
or somebody needs to step in, whoever owns this company needs to step in and root out this disease before it kills the entire company. Because I do think that it will have a tremendously negative effect on the game.
So like
Yeah, I mean, if you're using your position at a company like this to essentially use it as a platform to celebrate or advocate for this type of disgusting behavior, 100% is going to put stains on your company's products or services.
I said, this is episode 1. He's going to be making a long series of videos about this. And he says, I will continue to do this until they are all gone or the companies that protect them have their reputations destroyed beyond
Based
repair.
Asmongold, the champion of all gamers.
Keep joining the Twitter community, keep sharing the posts. It's working even faster than I anticipated. And he also mentioned in there, talk to HR, human resources. And we're going to see in just a second what the better option is according to Legal Mindset. But the reason HR is a shaky option to use if you see a coworker doing this or something like that is because, well, there's no anonymity. You might be retaliated against. And the company has every incentive to try to bury whatever you're reporting for their own interest. And also, you don't know who you're dealing with at HR. You don't know the people working it. They might be just as crazy as the people you are reporting.
Fair point. I didn't even think of
But
this.
of course, like I said, we have a better option shared by Legal Mindset here.
Hold on, can you guys see it? Let me quickly move. Let me shrink. There we go. So you guys can read it.
He's giving an enhancement to Asmongold's plan, and he says that is OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, which is a federal agency with
Oh, okay. So it's not something available in South
to do
Africa.
something about this stuff. A report from them is a big deal for a company. They have to deal with it. And what they do is they, as an organization, they are there to ensure that employers are providing their employees with a safe work environment. And people reporting to this organization about these violent threats, yeah, they might be getting somewhere. So let's listen to some of the benefits of these OSHA complaints.
All right, hit us, boys.
It's anonymous, so you will not
Yeah, HR, not so anonymous. Already big ups.
be retaliated against. Human resources cannot bury it because this is a government thing. It's going to come through the government regulatory body. They're going to know they got an OSHA complaint. They cannot hide that. And trust me when I tell you, as a corporate attorney, the CEO, the C-suite people, the management people, they will notice when OSHA complaints start coming in because there are legal penalties for non-compliance.
Ooh, that's even spicier.
Also, there's no cost of a lawsuit. Now, we're going to talk about the lawsuits a little bit more, but you could sue for having a not safe workplace, but that costs a lot of money. And most regular Americans are just struggling to make ends meet, to pay for things. Things are getting more expensive, inflation. You don't have to sue. You can go online and submit it for free. You can call. You can go in
I wish South Africa had something like this.
person. You can fax it if you even have a fax. There's many places to do it for almost nothing. And the law is very clear regarding safety risks. They need to be investigated. They need to be looked at. This is something they are going to need to take action on. Even if they ultimately don't fire the person, at least they were investigated and at least they know it's an issue. And now they're going to pay attention to their online behavior and the online behavior of the employees. Corporate America has been sleeping on the online behavior of its employees, and now it's time to wake up. Now it is a genuine time to wake up and say, we are going to pay attention to what people are doing online and make sure that they are behaving online.
So not only does this look like a very effective measure for dealing with wackadoos making violent threats online who might be your coworkers, whether it's in the gaming industry or at regular retail locations or offices, what have you, it's really effective, but also it's very appropriate. This is exactly why this system exists in the first place.
I wonder if SA had a system like this. As far as I'm aware, we don't.
It's about safety. You shouldn't have to live your life and your work life in fear because you're stuck with lunatics who are unhinged and posting things you're seeing online about threatening
shouldn't have
people
to
or
tolerate
making
this.
calls to violence. Imagine a scenario where your coworker is saying violent threats and encouraging violence against people who either share beliefs with Charlie Kirk or even go out there and condemn political violence. People like that have been targeted as well for simply condemning what happened. Imagine if that's your coworker and you have any of those beliefs that they're making threats over. How would...
That would be pretty concerning. You never know. They might have some crazy person, either themselves or another even crazier person, come and kill you for it.
you feel safe at your job? Why would you have to put up with someone who clearly is unhinged, unwell, and needs to be investigated?
Hey man, if you want to prevent a crime, you gotta make the criminal fear his victim.
Because that is the step here. This will lead to a possible investigation. Because if someone is saying this sort of rhetoric, obviously they need to be investigated. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. This is an unhinged person, and we've seen it happen
Throw him in these silence, boys.
over and over again, and we don't want to see more stuff translate into real life violence as a result of these calls for additional political violence.
Which it more than likely will end up happening. Someone probably will get injured or hurt or killed down the line because of this.
It appears that
Gotta stop it
Asmongold
now.
is aware of this latest recommendation from Legal Mindset, and he said it's great insight, and he didn't know how strong some of these systems were, and he's going to incorporate this into future videos, which obviously with his massive pull as a content creator, this is a really good step, because what we're seeing, what we're witnessing, there is no consequences for any of these actions, these people who are breaking the law and trying to instill fear on people.
Exactly what Vasali was saying. We gotta fight back, boys. Start railing them.
Because they are unhinged. There's got to be something done about it, and it sounds like there is a very good legal way of doing this with these OSHA complaints that can protect people from those who clearly need to have people protected from them. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I'll put a link to his video as well as the OSHA link. You can see right here. I'll put those in the description if you want to check them out.
I'll check them out my own time.
That's going to do it for this video. As
Thanks,
always,
Revy.
feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Should I leave a comment, chat? Yeah. Anyways, next one. Clappies, clappies. Am I sub to Rev? I should be. Yeah, I'm sub to Rev. Okay. Very good video. Very good video.